Mehar Bano, how do you deal with problematic characters in the television and entertainment industry? Because ये बहुत prevail करता है, बहुत ज़्यादा harassment भी prevail करती है, casting couch भी prevail करता है. Nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
अभी तक I've interviewed a lot of senior actors, female actors, वो ये कहते हैं कि है, हमारे साथ कभी नहीं हुआ. But you're somebody who's actually admitted कि हुआ है. You've gone on record to say कि हुआ है. I was listening to one of your older interviews, and you didn't name your obviously anybody, but you did say कि ये होता है.
Yep.
Is it getting better, or is it getting worse? Is there any kind of control on the production set now कि अगर आप harass हो रहे हो, is there somebody to go to कि आप anonymity के एक safety के अंदर आप कर सको complain, या ऐसा कोई नहीं है culture?
ऐसा कोई कल्चर नहीं है.
नहीं.
अगर ऐसा कल्चर होता तो फिर ये जो सेक्सुअल अब्यूज और वर्कप्लेस हरासमेंट का कल्चर है, दैट यू नो वुड हैव the other kind of culture would have countered this culture. You know, but the fact that this is being kept so hush hush and it isn't talked about ever is the biggest problem. और ये होता तब है जब you know women cannot speak for themselves because they feel like, you know, their job or their livelihood might be threatened.
And it is.
It is true.
It does get threatened.
It is true. And I've seen this happen to so many other women because I am a perceptive person and I have been on set since I was very young. And if I say so myself, it took me a long time to figure out that I was even being harassed at a workplace, you know, because आपको नहीं समझ आता है, especially when you're so young and you're thrown into this. And with me, I was very, very protected because I had Sarmad and he's like my mentor and he's always there for me. But as I grew older, कुछ recurring चीजें होती थी that I didn't really understand. And they don't really have to be physical harassment, mind you. Harassment can be anything if it makes you feel uncomfortable. It can be something that someone says. The only onus here is that the person who is harassing you needs to be at a higher position than you. Hierarchy में उनको ऊपर होना पड़ता है, तभी एक पावर डायनामिक बनता है जिसके अंदर एक इंसान कमजोर होता है, एक इंसान ताकतवर होता है. और जो ताकतवर इंसान है अगर एक इंसान को हरास करता है तो जो कमजोर इंसान होता है उसको चुप करना होता है, क्योंकि उसको लगता है जैसे उसकी जॉब थ्रेटन हो रही है या उसका लाइवलीहुड थ्रेटन हो रहा है या उसकी बात कोई मानेगा नहीं.
या इट्स ओके, ये होता है.
हाँ, ये होता है. एंड बिकॉज यू नो it happens in front of everyone, no one bats an eyelid, और लोग देखी अनदेखी कर देते हैं. So it's always, these are very tricky waters to tread with, you know. You can't expect anyone to stand up for you. I will say, however, that one of my first cases where I had to experience harassment, Saba Qamar actually came to my rescue. She actually एक mic वाला था. So like you can get harassed at any time by anyone, especially when you don't know what's going on and you're just a child. You know, I told her because I didn't know what was going on and I was really confused, and she just went on set and she had him kicked out. And I think that's the only time I remember like someone,
taking a stand for you,
taking such a strong stand for me. कि मुझे लगा कि I should be more aware now of what happens to me and what happens to other girls, I can also stand up for them.
Exactly.
But of course it's not as easy said.
No.
You know, easier said than done, of course. I think that to counter this we need to really just start coming out. मेरे अंदर इतनी हिम्मत नहीं है कि I come out with whoever harassed me, but again I will say that I am one of the luckier ones and I haven't मेरे साथ इतना कुछ बुरा नहीं हुआ. But मैं आपका उस दिन एक और इंटरव्यू देख रही थी with फरियाल, and no one's like come on to me this strong like the way she was telling you, and I feel so horrible that this had to happen to her and she had to go through all of this, and no one should be able.
Nobody should have to go through it.
No one should have to go through this, especially if especially अगर आपका livelihood इस चीज़ के ऊपर depend कर रहा है. लेकिन अगर किसी के साथ होता है तो फिर I think that there should be measures that you can take to counter it, and there should be like someone helping you. But like, of course, right now we're far from this. लेकिन मुझे लगता है जैसे ये होता रहेगा.
कोई sisterhood है industry में? Is there camaraderie amongst young actors or young and older actors, female actors, के share कर सकें एक दूसरे के साथ या एक दूसरे को warn कर सकें? Because आपकी बातों से मुझे लग रहा है कि वो माइक वाला था जिसने हरास किया था, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ senior actors या producers या people in the position of power, they are misusing their power. ये तो I think men are misusing their masculinity basically. ऐसा ही है ना? ये नहीं है, ज़रूरी नहीं है कि कोई किसी लेवल पे हो तो वो करे. तो कोई है कोई code of sisterhood amongst actors कि यार you're new on the set, यार ऐसा हो तो मेरे पास आना, I'll take care of you.
Sometimes ऐसा होता है, कभी कभार ऐसा होता है कि कुछ लोग they're looking out for you and they'll, like with Sarmad, I think his set is amazing and I can always go to him, and there are some girls like Ushna Shah and a few other actresses जो कि बहुत they're very very nice and you can always go to them and share anything with them. But I think that सबको अपनी अपनी बड़ी होती है and everyone wants to sort of ignore this and keep going ahead, so their career is unhindered और उनके काम को कोई फर्क ना पड़े और उनको कोई कास्ट करना बंद ना हो जाए. तो these are very real fears that keep actors up at night. बिल्कुल. Because you might have everything right now, but the next day everything can be taken away from you. Just because of one thing that you said. Absolutely. I bet that the Churel set was a complete safe zone. Of course. I mean, a complete safe zone. Let's talk about lighter and yet heavier stuff. Churel's ka set, I mean, how amazing was that? And you were the youngest of the 4 Churels, and yet I think one of the most prominent. And Zubeda with her boxing, love for boxing, and completely kick-ass girl. How happy were you to get that role? I was ecstatic. I can't even explain to you. Isn't that like made for you? Like, yeah. I read the character and I was like, that's me. I don't even have to do anything. And funnily enough, before I'd been cast and there were some other girls reading for the character, I'm sure. Someone told Asim, I think it was Mo Azmi who told Asim that, oh, this is Mehar. This is Mehar Bano. ये तो यही है, इसी से कराना है आपने. And then he auditioned me and next day he was like, yeah, of course. I knew it was कुछ आपको पता होता है कभी कभार कि कौन सा character आपके लिए है. But it was an absolute privilege to get to do that character, and I can't imagine anyone else doing it. Did it spoil you for choice after that? It did. It did. I think that for me to go back to television with the same fervor is kind of hard. Yeah, because I think that itna, to do characters जिसके अंदर आप अच्छे भी हो, बुरे भी हो, और it doesn't matter because you can be whatever because that's how humans are. So I'm essentially what I was doing with Chudels was fulfilling my dream of just being represented. So it wasn't just me. I was so glad to be surrounded by characters that was really, really strong women. Really strong women who, the kind of women that I've seen and the kind of women I'd love to see around me, or it was just a dream come true for me. And but I would say that since then I have been getting characters जो कि इसी thought को आगे लेके चल रहे हैं. I was going to ask you, has that helped you get better characters that you relate to more? It has. the next project that I've done. I can't reveal what it is, but it's something I was super excited about. And
Television or web?
it's for web.
For web.
Yeah.